Alright, hey guys, Caleb Blasting Game here. I decided to do a video on kind of my Vietnam gear, my impression. Um, so this is not, I just want to say this is a work in progress. This is not complete. It's almost complete. I'm hoping kind of by next summer to have this completely set up and ready. So my impression is kind of generic. I plan on doing 25th ID, but I'm kind of working with some friends to form up a unit, and we're talking about 25th or 101st Airborne. So until then, well, I'll get into why I don't have my uniform patched up right now. But so this is going to transform hopefully into a 25th ID impression, but we're also looking at 101st. So it just depends, and this is for late war, late 67 to early 69. So getting into, I'm just going to go over my rifle first. This is JG Airsoft M16A1. You can see it's an airsoft rifle. I got this mostly as a display weapon, but I was going to use it for airsoft, but then it broke on me. The spring, when I was trying to take the upper off of the lower, the charging handle got caught, and the spring that lets the charging handle slam home got overstretched, and so now it doesn't slam home. It just sits back there, and then the like imitation bolt that sits over it got damaged, and the dust cover doesn't stay closed anymore. This is a pretty good rifle for a display rifle. For $150, it's not bad. Unfortunately, it is a plastic or a polymer upper and lower receiver. But for what you pay, it's a relatively accurate rifle. The front gas block is not mil spec, or front sight assembly, whatever you want to call it, is not mil spec, so you cannot fit a bayonet onto the bayonet lug. My plan really for the it also has an A2 stock on it. You can tell, one, because it's a little bit longer than A1 stock, and the A1s were trapdoor like this, but you'll notice that the texturization on it covers the entire butt plate, whereas on the A1 the texturization was just on the trapdoor, and then the rest of the butt plate was smooth. So that's also how you can tell it's an A2. My plan for this rifle is to kind of make it into a late war A1. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the A2 stock on it. There's no, because this is like my crappy throw around break rifle now, so my plan is to kind of transform into a late war A1, put the A1 bird cage on it if I can find one. If I can't find one that will fit it, I'll just throw an A2 bird cage on it. And I'm gonna get rid of the front handguards and put a 203 there, so it kind of becomes a late war 203 rifle for like 1970 onward. And then I'm gonna get a different rifle for actual display use. I hopefully in the future I'm gonna get a Brownell's AR-15 reproduction of XM16E1. So yeah, that's my rifle. Next, I don't have a helmet right now. I do have a booting hat, but it's inside. I don't have a helmet right now. I do have my GI baseball cap. I've got a sergeant pin on it. I portray a sergeant. That might change when we form a unit, but I don't know yet. I do have a helmet liner, and I do have a helmet, but they are with a friend right now. So BAR Gunner 1918. Me and him are pretty decent friends, and I bought a helmet liner off of him, and then I'm trading my 3/4 flak vest for a helmet he has. So that's that. This, I believe, is a post-war cap. Yeah, it's 1980 dated. I don't know if you can see that, but it's the DLA stamp, 1980 dated. So yeah, that's that. Next, Couple of bandoliers. This one has kind of worn off. This one's in really good condition, but the stamp's kind of worn off. November of '74. And then I need to readjust this bandolier because I was a lot shorter the last time I had adjusted it, which was a couple years ago, and it is also November of '74. So the one, like the bottom one, I keep tighter to my body, just so that it doesn't hang out too much and stuff. And then the one I wear over top, my other bandolier, I keep a little bit looser, just so that I can still get to the bottom one. So next is my web gear. You can't really see it that much. Holy shit, that's a wasp. I'm just gonna let that thing fly away real quick. So what? Okay, sorry for the pause here, guys. I'm deathly terrified of wasps, and it's flying around me, and I'd rather not get bit. So anyways, you can't really see my web gear right now. So it consists of 1970 dated suspenders. I don't know for sure. I think these are second patterns. They may be first patterns. Being 1970 dated, they're probably second patterns, but I'm not for sure. The stamp's kind of hard to read. Then compass / first aid pouch. I have nothing in it right now. This one is not, I mean, it's in serviceable condition, but it's not mint. The stamp isn't there anymore, so I can't really read it. So I don't know what it's dated. Then here I have a second pattern ammunition pouch. I don't know the date on this one. Another second pattern ammunition pouch. This one is pretty mint, but you cannot really read the stamp on it, so I don't know what it's dated. It's kind of hard to read the stamp on it. Let's see what's next. Here, I'll just take my web gear off now, just to kind of show it more. So, suspenders, ammunition pouch and stuff. On the back, I have my M61 butt pack, and then I have 2 canteen covers on the side of that. Though they're both second patterns. You can tell a second pattern from a first pattern because of the trim on it. These have nylon trim. The first pats have freaking canvas trim. That's it. The butt pack is pretty minty. I'm not going to open it right now. I don't have anything in there. I just have some spare cloth in there to kind of like make it look filled. I don't remember what it's dated. And the canteen covers are pretty worn as well, so I don't know what they're dated. And then secured to the bottom of my butt pack, I have my February of '61 poncho. It's actually really good condition. I got this, so the butt pack, the canteen covers, the suspenders, I got all this from Collector Nick. I consider him a friend as well. He's also a fellow collector, and sometimes if you're on some of the Facebook pages, like the Vietnam Marketplace ones, the US Field Gear sales page on Facebook and stuff, he sometimes lists stuff on there. He doesn't list stuff as much as he used to, but he does list stuff on there from time to time. And he gave me really good deals on stuff, or when I bought stuff, he threw in extra gear. The butt pack, I think, came in the butt pack came in a lot of gear, and I bought it solely for the other gear was pretty worn out, but I bought it solely for the butt pack. The only thing really wrong with the butt pack is it's got a rip right here, but yeah, so I bought it solely for the butt pack, and you know, the other stuff to me was just a bonus. And then he threw in a couple of extra items. I used to have an M45 pack I think it was when I bought my M7 bayonet right here. When I bought my M7 bayonet from him, he threw in that M45 pack and a couple other things. So majority of my gear came from him. So on to the last thing that's on my web gear is my M7 bayonet. I don't know if you'll be able to read it, probably not, but it's marked US M7 and then BOC on the other side of the guard. This is in an M8A1 scabbard, but you'll notice usually where the manufacturer is put right under US M8A1, if you can see it, it says Germany. So this is a German-made M8A1 scabbard. I believe it's post-war. And it's not that different from the US ones, except for the fact that, so the main scabbard part on the US ones is like a fiberglass that's been painted, whereas this is a straight green plastic. And usually there's like a metal or a plastic cap down here on the US ones. And then the snap style is a little bit different. And part of how you can tell, if it didn't have that German marking there, how you can tell this is German gear is this snap here. If you look at a lot of the 60s, 70s, 80s German equipment, certain things like the belt buckle to the web belt, some of the buttons on stuff have this texturized like metal there. So yeah, that's the web gear. I do have an e-tool cover in the house. It's practically mint. There are a couple of minor things with it, but it's practically mint condition. I don't have an e-tool right now, so I don't have it out here. I don't have it on my web gear. Next, I'm wearing a Rothko uniform. So I bought this because I really need a uniform, at least one to display. It was during when more Militaria had kind of stopped producing their uniforms, and so that's why I don't have it patched. So there are two reasons why I don't have it patched. Two, this is a Rothko uniform. I bought a Rothko uniform because I needed a uniform just to have, and people were saying, you know, the color's off, but they're not that bad of uniforms. There are a couple things wrong with them, but they're not that bad uniforms. It's a third pack, by the way. So I bought it thinking, okay, the color is going to be off, but I'm still going to get a decent uniform. I got it in, and it is extremely crappy. I bought it from Combat Sports Supply. If you want to get a Rothko uniform, you can. So the reason I patched it is, or I haven't patched it or put any insignia on it yet, is one, because I don't know for sure what unit I'm going to be doing, and two, is because I'm not going to waste putting patches on a Rothko uniform, just because Rothko uniforms wear out extremely quickly. I have not worn this thing in the field yet. This is only like the third time I've worn it, and I can tell it's gonna go out quick. So I just am using it until I can get a more military one, now that they're producing uniforms again. I'm either going to get a second pat or a third pat, and I'm going to get a couple of sets, you know, one to have as like a nice display uniform, one to wear out in the field, stuff like that. Rothkos, though, are still a good budget uniform. If you're doing non-soft, if you're or if you just want like a if you want to keep like your original uniforms or even your more military uniforms in good condition, Rothko uniforms are a uniform that, you know, you can find relatively cheap and wear out in the field for the weekend, and then they'll get ruined. And so it's a good like throwaway uniform if you want to try and keep your other ones clean, or like I said, if you're just doing Vietnam airsoft and you need a cheap uniform, or you don't want to ruin an original or more military or something, it's a good throwaway uniform. I'm also wearing Rothko boots. The boots are not that bad. Now, they obviously are nowhere near as good as, you know, an original pair or even a post-war pair. But for what you pay for them, I can't remember off the top of my head how much they are standalone, because I think I paid like $100 for top, trousers, and the boots and boonie hat all together. But for what you pay for them, they're not that bad. However, you are better off. Again, it's kind of like the uniform. If you need something cheap to get by, or if you just do Vietnam airsoft, from time to time, they're good for that because they are going to wear out quick. But they're still a decent boot. Again, if you're doing hardcore reenacting, I would get either an original pair, or if you don't want to ruin originals, you can always get originals to throw in your collection, but if you don't want to wear originals out into the field and you don't want to ruin them, I would recommend looking for a post-war pair, just because they're a bit more comfortable in my opinion compared to the Rothkos, and they also aren't going to wear out as quick, and they just look better. That's pretty much it, guys, for my Vietnam impression right now. It's kind of a work in progress. My hope is to complete it by next summer. So what I think I don't remember if I mentioned it or not, so if I did, I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself, but all my web gear is on a first pattern horizontal weave belt. My plan is to hopefully find a second pattern belt to put all my gear on, and then use the first pattern for something else. There are two reasons to that, kind of. One, because the first pattern belt with mostly second pattern gear just really isn't correct. The other thing is horizontal weave is hard to work with the Alice clips, or slide keepers, because it's M56 gear. So the Alice clips go vertical and the weave is obviously horizontal. So when you're trying to put something onto the web gear, and if your Alice clips are bent, it's hard to work with because you have the weave is getting in the way and causing a lot of opposite friction, so it's hard to get stuff on the belt. Luckily, most of my gear, the slide keepers aren't bent or anything, so it's easy to get stuff on for the most part. But like I said, I want to get a vertical weave second pattern. The other thing is a new rifle. I hopefully want to have this one converted to a late war A1 by the end of the summer, or by next summer. And then I hopefully want to get a new rifle, whether that's another airsoft rifle, a Brownells rifle, or U.S. Replica Gun Company makes a non-firing M16A1 replica that's pretty solid, and they're like $400, so it's kind of expensive, but I would really like to get one. If I get another airsoft rifle, I'm probably going to get either a SEMA or a WE gas blowback. The nice thing about the SEMAs is that they are so the full metal, they make two versions, a polymer version and a metal version. The metal version, or the polymer version, is like $100. The metal version is $150. So I paid $150 for this plastic receiver JG, and that was before the SEMAs came out when I got this. And then the SEMAs that are $150 have a metal upper and receiver, and it's actually a more accurate rifle than the JG. So if I get another airsoft rifle, I'm probably going to get one of those, or I'm going to get a WE gas blowback. And then after that, I'm hoping to get a third rifle, just because I'm going to make this into a late war A1. Then I'll make my next rifle into a early type A1, or like first batch A1s. If you don't know the whole thing about first batch A1s, you need to do some research on it. It's a lot to explain. I'm not going to go through it, just because this video is already really long. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to have a new rifle as well. Next, the other big thing is rucksack. I had a chance at an Arvin ruck, but late war you don't really see a lot of guys running the Arvin. 101st you really don't see at all. 25th you see the Arvin some, but again, it's very rare. So I'm going to get either a lightweight or a tropical, but even the tropical rucks not really used that much. So yeah, I'm gonna get my rucksack next, or that's one of the things on the list. Like the three big things are my web belt, my rifle, my rucksack, and then a new uniform, a more military uniform, and boots and stuff. Like I said, I hope to have this complete by next summer. It's been a lot of work in progress. I was gonna get a bunch of stuff this summer, but obviously with this whole coronavirus thing, I'm probably not gonna get a job. I mean, I'm still gonna try to, but I don't know that there are a lot of people out there hiring. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. One of the things I want to mention, I think I mentioned it in one of my other videos, is me and Bar Gunner 1918. We are going to be at an air show in Wisconsin this summer. I believe it's the Chippewa Valley air show. So we're going to be at that this summer with a couple of other friends, and we're going to be doing a display. It's out in Wisconsin. So if you guys go to that, you know, come, we're doing a display, so come by and see us. We'll be doing World War II in Vietnam. So yeah. And then the other thing I want to say is shout out to my buddy Nick, Collector Nick. I will put his channel down in the description, just because his channel is great. He has a lot of gear reviews. Me and him were actually going to do a collaboration about a month back, just because he was in Chamberlain stuff, but I had something come up, so we couldn't do it and stuff. But yeah, for like the third time, I don't know why it takes me so long to end the video. Like, I'll say, hey, the video is gonna end, and then go on for another like 4 or 5 minutes. So yeah, I guess that's the end of the video. I will leave Nick's channel in the description. I'll leave Bar Gunner 1918's in the description. He doesn't really upload anymore. He's going to try to do some stuff, but he doesn't really upload that much anymore. So, and I'm gonna do a video on that probably as well. So yeah, peace out, guys.